Let's see if I can pull up this chat room. Let's go here. No. Where's the live dashboard? Oh, this is not it. Yeah, I got it. Okay, whatever. Live control room. What's going on, everybody? I was trying to get this set up real quick. And then I'll talk to you guys about a few things as more people come in. Lower than, let's see if we can find a chat room somewhere around here. Oh, because I'm not their favorite guy. I'm trying to get to the comments real quick, guys. So just give me a second. If I can get a hold of these comments. Man. Yeah, watch page. Get a hold of these comments. There we go. All right. Yes, it is a solo stream for right now. Just for right now. Well, you know, Miss Gabriella was I think she had just finished working or something like that. Now I could ask her to get on, but I don't know if she has really time to do that. But I just want to highlight you guys just a little bit about a few things. The YouTube demonetization, and definitely want to say thank you to a lot of you about that. But we'll get into that here in a second. I just want to make sure more people come in before I start talking about it. Yeah, well, you know, hey man, I'm 37 years old. I don't be fooling around with them brands that y'all fool with, and like just to be on with you, dude, I don't be out there shopping like that, you know. So if you see me wear something, if it don't have a hole in it and it's still clean, I'ma wear it. Okay, well, appreciate you from Arizona. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh, like I said, when you get to like to my age, and to let y'all know that you don't really care about all that. I mean, yes, you want to make sure that you know you presentable wherever you go. I mean, I would care more about, at least in this stage of my life, making sure my suits are okay. I'll make sure of that. But when it comes to the shirts, I'm just being relaxed today. You know, guys. You know, I always put on the suits. I always do that sort of thing, but I'm not doing that right now. I think I've said that before. I am 37 years old. Yeah, so well, let me ask Ms. Gabriella what she got going on. Maybe she'll jump on here. Let me see if I can get this chat room to open up a little bit better. The Indians. Yeah, that's some messed up stuff. That's really messed up. But you know, it's nothing different than what they did to us. I mean, those people had their land, they minding their own business, and here come these people just desecrating their burial grounds, messing up their land. They have supposed treaties with the U.S., and they want to drag a pipeline from Energy Transfers, which is a major petrochemical company here in America, Energy Transfers, put that pipeline from North Dakota, running all the way through their water and all through their land. And they should not be doing that. And these jokers are a private company, but yet they're trying to use eminent domain. And that term, eminent domain, it's just basically saying, let's say like you own a house and they see something, you know, they want on your land, they basically just get you out your own house or get you out your business or whatever. That is colonialism 101. Colonialism still exists in this country. Every time that they did that to us, well, you couldn't be here, you can't be around the white folks, so you go over here to Oklahoma Indian territory. We made Black Wall Street, and what did they do? They came in and destroyed the junk. Every time you look up, they're trying to destroy people's stuff. That's not bothering them. Them Indians, you know, well, I won't say that word. Native Americans are not bothering them. They live in their land, they're doing their thing. And we in the Black community, while we're talking about that, we do need to speak up for them. And the reason why is because they always have been an ally to us. When we would escape plantations, we could run to Native American reservations, join with them, make, you know, a family with them. You know, all these Black people say, I got Native American in me. Where do you think that come from? That come from us even being part of different tribes. We built different cities and forts with the Native Americans. Remember, I did a story a long time ago about the brother named John Horace, the Black Seminole Indian. Y'all know, remember that video? Well, go check it out. We have always joined with the Native Americans, and they did help us fight a lot against our oppressor, slave master, any other word you want to call them. So we should always look out for our Native American brothers and sisters, because trust me, they got some of the same stories we have and worse, and they do not have no love for them. I talked to a few of them, trust me. And it was a good experience just talking to them, just to hear how the relationships that we always had with them in the past. But you know how they do in this country. They want to separate everybody into their own little group. But if you really join the people who's more oppressed and who's been through a lot of stuff, if you got the same story, then why couldn't you join together and deal with the central problem? But see, they don't want to do that. So they go corrupt the relationship between the Black people and the Native Americans, or, you know, the Black people in this group, that group, and the third. And there's always a divide and conquer. It's an old strategy, but it's still going on. So now today I found out the Supreme Court put a halt to it, a temporary halt. Now, this is a private entity doing this. This isn't the U.S. government doing this. But yet, when you got money in this country, you could pay people off, you can get permits, you can do all kind of stuff. It's just corruption that go on in this country. So those people have every right to stand up against the tyranny and unjust things they're doing to those people. They're violating their own treaties they have with the United States. But how many times have people signed treaties with them and the treaty is not worth anything that they signed? It's all about them and what they can do at the end of the day. Let's see here. Well, there's a lot of people that's by that pipeline that's trying to stop it, but you know how that goes. Now, check this out. The governor pulled out the National Guard to go out there. Now, I want y'all to notice the pattern with the National Guard. They can never send a National Guard out to protect life, but they surely can send a National Guard out to protect the money. You notice that? A riot happened, the National Guard comes out. What are they doing? Protecting the money. The pipeline, the people protesting, people trying to stop it from happening. National Guard coming out to do what? To protect the money. But then you have cities where the law enforcement literally failed, like Chicago, and tell them to go in there, help out law enforcement, set up some checkpoints, sweep through there, get all the criminals out so these people can live safe and rebuild their community. No. You can murder wholesale out there. And I thought about a video that I did with that general that talked about a while back, Africa. And you remember he said white Africa. And he said, look, we know where the terrorists are at, and we can just contain it right there. We're fine as long as they're going to white Africa. I don't know if you remember that. And that's the way they think about us. It's like, as long as they can contain the violence to the south side of Chicago, for instance, as long as they can contain the violence to the Fifth Ward in Houston, as long as they can contain it there, as long as they don't go over to the affluent side or all the rich white folks said, they're good. Because trust me, if them same dudes was doing all this killing, will start going to the white neighborhoods doing that stuff, watch how the National Guard come out and protect them. That's why I say everything in this country is, you know, racial, unfortunately, and it's really sick. And then when we say it's that way, then you have people who would not believe it because, you know, it's not written down. It's not, you know, something they can see on paper, or they just don't want to believe it. They believe it's, you know, it's far off here and there. It's not a constant thing. So it just, that's why I want to discuss with y'all that too. But let's talk about the demonetization thing first. When we first put that video up, like I said, I deal with a lot of issues, and it was just great to see the people really came out and being supportive. There's a lot of people, and make sure I check it out right now while I'm looking at it on our Patreon page. There's many people that came, and we did a call for just $5 pledge once a month on the Patreon, and 81 people joined the Patreon, which is awesome. We're very happy about that. That 81 people joined. There was many of you that was donating to the GoFundMe, which is great, awesome. I thank you so much for that. Many of you had wanted to give through PayPal. Thank you so much for that, because what that money is going to do is now I'm having to buy new equipment because, well, at least next week, my co-host is going to be here. And so we're going to start doing some videos together, doing some news stories together. I think she's flying in Wednesday. So the goal is, I think she's working on relocating. So it's going to be more sort of two-person show instead of just me doing it by myself. I think it'll be a good balance. This is the idea. It'd be a good balance with myself and her. So you got a woman's perspective, you got a guy's perspective. So that way we could just, do something just a little different. I have some ideas with that. Nothing's going to change on the direction of what I'm doing. We just going to have, two different sets of opinions instead of just one as we continue forward. So we have to get equipment. Certain opportunities, from what I'm hearing, may come up. So those extra funds may help us, fly to do these different opportunities. Certain interviews I would like to do, but some of them you need to actually go out to get these interviews and tell the stories that's not being told within our community that the mainstream media will hide and don't want us to even know anything about. So those funds that's, definitely coming in, or that's why I say if we had enough sustainable, funds through the Patreon and really the overall goal, if we can get at least 1,000 people to join the Patreon, the link is always in the description box as well. At $5, a month, they only charge you the first of the month. It can really help us just shoot through the roof. We don't have to worry about demonetization. We don't have to say, well, I can't do that video because it may get demonetized. We don't want to do that. We want to continue putting out the information that I feel that you deserve. The situation with Darren Seals, that brother, what happened with him, I've been, talking with a lot of people up there, trying to figure out what's going on, doing everything that we can to make sure nothing happens to any of the people that's up there. Okay. So, oh yeah, the troll's going to be there. We're not worried about that. So we want to make sure to do everything we can within the community. So that's the purpose of what we're doing. Not just trying to build a media organization, but try to make a difference. Because if you're not making a difference, what are you doing? And that's where we at with it. So any funds that come in to help, thank you for it. I thank you so much. I want to make sure I say thank you before I get into anything else I'm about to say. I don't take that lightly. I know it's something you don't have to do at all. And in the climate that we live in, that's kind of taught us we don't have to pay for much, especially with the internet. We don't want to pay for music no more. We don't want to pay to watch certain things. We don't want to go to movies. We watch it on different bootlegs and different apps. And you know how it is these days. We don't want to pay for nothing. So it's definitely, those who really want to support and let us know, you're there for us. And like I said, I make sure to give those people on Patreon information, give them the first everything before I present it here. Because, it just got to have something exclusive, for them. We're working right now on a book. I think this book is going to be a good one. It's not that hard for me to write this book because, we just reviewing some things that's already happened, some things I already seen in the horizon that's coming up within our community and different things here in America. Let's talk about conservative platforms here for a minute. Conservative platforms. Blackout Friday movement. Okay. Now, some people asked me one time, why did I go on the Jesse Lee Peterson show? Say, why did you go on that show? Why, would you talk to Jesse Lee Peterson? The thing is, if you don't go to different platforms that don't agree with you or your stance, how would you know what they think? And you say, oh, well, I can hear what they're thinking. No, it's a little different when you engage with them versus just hear them doing like a show. And certain things I learned from the Jesse Lee Peterson interview, I wrote down. I made sure to say, okay, we'll do this. I make a list. I recently went on the Steven Crowder show. Now, I went on his show before. I think it was last year. And then I recently went on to it this year. And it's not an actual interview, it's a / debate. And most of you know me, that's not really my thing, is debating with people back and forth. I'm also of a speaker, social commentator. That's more so my thing. Unless I just got it in my head, I'm just going there just to act a fool. And I try not to do that because I try to stay within character as much as possible. That video is on his channel. And of course, on his channel, I have no love. They don't love me over there. Of course, his audience over there is more so conservative. And, I heard a lot of these feelings a lot about the things that I report here. Just like my audience can be very vicious too. I can honestly say that my audience is vicious. I'll be sometimes looking at the comments. I'm like, man, some of y'all be going in the comment section. I just be sitting there just shaking my head. And like some of y'all, I get it. I get why some of y'all are angry. I get it 100%. Sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I get emotionally drained about seeing the stories. But what I learned from the Steven Crowder interview / debate is there are people that will go on whatever the police say 100%, no matter if they ever been caught falsifying documents, if they've been caught police brutality. They only gonna go on the numbers that they write down, which we know who's in control of the numbers. We know these numbers can be fudged. And that's why I said I don't care about numbers when I did that interview. It's because we know in our lives, do you really think you care about a number when you constantly seeing these things happen? And when you grow up in the Black community and you see, crooked police beating people up, or you see crooked police supposed to be taking a drug dealer to jail, but actually robbing a drug dealer of his money and his drugs. Where's but if it's not written down for some people, they really don't believe it or they won't acknowledge it. And that's something that I've learned, with the conservative crowd. And that's why I was looking at that and I was paying attention to that. And I say, you know what? We do live in two Americas, and there are those who just don't believe that. And when you have people, I think they've been seeing this recently online, and I even said in my video, I'm literally done trying to convince them anything. Because when you're trying to convince somebody that's already got it made up in their mind, that's what they're thinking, then it's nothing you can do. You're just wasting your time. You're spinning the wheels. And that's what I come out of it. It's like, don't waste your time trying to convince people who don't really want to listen to what you have to say, because they're stuck in their mind on what they believe based on what's written down on a piece of paper. It's just bottom line. That's it. We have to focus on what we focus on, and so on and so forth. Also, I didn't realize I am one of the most hated guys on the internet. Did y'all know that? I'm extremely hated. And you know what? If you hate it on the internet, the way I am, well, then I'm doing my job. I'm doing a good thing, because no matter what you say about me, I never said I was the smartest guy in the world. Never say I was the oracle of the English language. But what we do very well with the help of God. And God always said that he would take the foolish things and get glory out of it. And I am a foolish thing. I've always said that, because it takes God to make me do the things that I do, because sometimes I don't even have an eye or ear to hear or see the things that I'm trying to do or accomplish. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to present a message. I want our community to be fixed. I want us to be better. I want us to be whole. Sometimes I get angry at things that I see in our own community. Like I seen a video of two dudes from Chicago shoot a 71-year-old man. I literally just wanted to throw the computer across the wall. I mean, seriously. I mean, when I grew up, the few things that you didn't do was do anything to children, do anything to women or girls or the elderly. And these dudes in Chicago, they are beyond savage. And I just shook my head there, and I'm like, why don't you send the National Guard into Chicago and fix that issue? But it doesn't matter because they don't care about the lives of black people. They really don't. They're okay with black people dying because, hey, it's free organs we can get. We can keep rich, elite white people alive by all those free organs of those black people shooting up each other every day. Because the organ harvesting business is big. It's booming. They love an area like Chicago. They just sitting at the funeral home waiting. That's all it really is at the end of the day. Somebody making money. If they're not making money off the organs, they're making money off of incarceration. And they want black organs because black organs is seen as superior because we are genetically superior. If you do the research, it come from white folks even say it, doctors and stuff like that. We are genetically superior in every which way. No matter what they teach you, no matter how much they lie to you, they want to tell you you're inferior. But how is it they always want your organs and nobody else's? Ask that question. I know someone that worked on the with the organ transplant business, okay, not the legal one. And they told me how they have the list of people that say need a kidney, need a whatever. You'll see this person that's been on the list, they can get to the top of the list, but they're waiting for an organ. They can be waiting 2 years, 3 years. But then they say you see a name show up at the bottom of the list. Okay. Then the next day, you'll see that same one that was at the bottom of the list go right up to the top of the list. That same the name that just showed up on there. And they only been there like a day or two. And then they get the next organ over the person that was actually next to get one that's been waiting 2-3 years. I mean, it's so corrupt. What happens in this nation? And that's what people really don't, see and understand. Yeah, they won't definitely want our DNA. Look, it's true. They really do. So yeah, they need to put some respect on my name. You doggone right. Because boy, I'm telling y'all go to that. Like I haven't posted it yet, but if you go to Steven Crowder's YouTube channel, just type in Steven Crowder, just go look at the comment section. I mean, they hate me to death over there. I'm like, wow. But like I said, if you don't have people hating you, then you're not doing anything right. Because if everybody like you, something's wrong. Even in your personal life, somebody should not like you. Because usually when you're trying to do something good, you're progressing, you're going to get an enemy. You're going to. And that's the measure of what you're doing if you have an enemy. Because people don't want to see you, try to do good, or people don't want to see your progress at all. So, we doing the right thing. We put out the message in our community. Now, another complaint that a lot of the people is having, and I'm gonna ask you guys about this. I had a conversation with my wife, and the complaint was, why is it that he always showing stories about black people? Why always black people, black people, black people? And so I talked to my wife about it. I said, listen, this is some things that was being said, but I'm only doing what I feel is right in the message that we feel we need to get out. So she told me to say, well, look, you doing what you know. I mean, you relate more, to the community, and you speak on it. You say like, when it comes to, they say like people that do the Univision, whatever, they speak about, they people. Nobody tell them about why you don't talk about black people on Univision or white folks. The white media, it is the white media. You can call it whatever you want. It's all white owned. It's white control. So we can't say the black owned media, but the white media, they talk about the things that they want to talk about in the guise of propaganda. Then when they do talk about black people, it's either stereotypical, putting out subliminal messages, or something to hype up black and whites fighting. That's really the only thing they do in relation to us, to black people. They don't give black people shows on their networks too much, unless you are docile and you're going to go along and get along. They're not going to put someone on their show that's going to actually speak up and speak out. It don't matter if they're white, they won't do it. At the end of the day, they have a certain message and they want to stick to that message. So what we do here, I feel is something special. You know, we speak up, we speak out, and that's just what we have to do with, within our community. And why is it that we can't have a piece of nothing? We can't have a show this small. We can't have it. Y'all got hundreds of shows. Y'all got millions of dollars that show y'all own Hollywood. Y'all own it all. And it's like the little piece of thing that we may have in our own little corner. You want to come in and tell us what we should be showing, what we should be talking about. One guy told me that I shouldn't care about I think it was the Lena Dunham, Odell Beckham thing. Even though for me, it wasn't that little thing. It was the bigger overall historical message and the bigger picture of that, and how that instance has gotten black men killed, hung, castrated, whatever, by a chick, just like Lena Dunham. Because 50 years ago, 60 years ago, Odell Beckham probably would have been on the tree somewhere, her saying something like that. And he didn't do nothing but look at the doggone phone, right? So we will talk about things like that. And if I want to talk about celebrities, or I want to talk about whoever I want to talk about, I can do that. That's fine. And if you don't like that I do that, or you don't like that I talk about black people too much, then you create your own YouTube channel and you talk about the people that you want to talk about, or find someone that talks about the things that you are interested in. Because I don't go to no one's channel and say, hey, why don't you talk about this? And why don't you say this? And I don't like that you show this all day. I'm like, that's their channel. They could talk about what they want to talk about. If I don't like that, I won't watch it. And then I will create my own content. That way, I could do what I think is best on YouTube. That's just really it. Let's see here. I was kind of looking at the comments, so give me a second. Yeah, like I say, what time? At least here it's like 10. I don't know, John. I don't know why they obsess with us. I don't know. Because it's like it goes back to the segregated safe space thing in California. I recently did like a little short interview with RT International about that actual story, and everybody freaking out. Oh, they're segregating, and why are they doing that? And they're trying to unravel the civil rights movement. Well, it goes back to what we said. If we around you, it's a problem. It's a problem. Black people this, black people that, stereotyping, looking at us funny. We talk to each other. You're trying to listen to our business. Always worrying about what we got going on. Say, worry about your business. Then if the people say, okay, well, I'm tired of being talked about. I'm tired of being stereotyped. I'm tired of being attacked. Let me go in the corner just over here for a minute. And then that's wrong. You want to bring up Martin Luther King and all this other stuff. And what I don't understand is when Martin Luther King was alive, they hated him. They didn't love that man. They kill that man. So that's what pisses me off when they bring up King. Like, stop bringing up King. You ain't bringing up the Dr. King the 2 years before he died. They said, I dream, what he said, that his dream was turned into a nightmare. Why don't you never talk about that? That he feel he integrated his people into a burning house. Why you don't ever say that? You never say that, King. Only King you talk about is the I have a dream. It's the only King you talk about. That's it. You don't talk about the king that sat down with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You don't talk about that king, do you? You don't talk about the king that was getting with Malcolm X and they were trying to see if they can do something together. That was the real reason why King, well, one of the reasons why King was killed. Him speaking out against the Vietnam War, the Poor People's Campaign, and him getting with Malcolm, trying to get with Malcolm X, because they were putting aside their differences to try to stand up for the people. Trust me, the unification of the black man and black woman is the most feared thing that could ever happen in this nation. And the only time I ever felt that unification is, I'm gonna say about a year ago, when I went to the Million Man March. And that weekend, I've never been around that many black people that just were just happy to be around each other. Wasn't no beefing, wasn't no looking funny, wasn't treating nobody bad. Everybody was happy to be around each other. People coming from all walks of life to DC, and it was just coming on a spirit of unification. And just the spirit that was in the air with that, it literally felt like, and I thought about this the other day, it literally felt like a utopia, like heaven on earth, to see our people that unified and that peaceful with each other. And I'm like, oh man, I see why they get scared of this. I said, because you imagine if we was that unified, You imagine if we stuck together like that on everything, we wouldn't have no issues. We would have no problems. But the reason why we have so many problems is because we aren't unified. Even those in our community that want to do good, we so split up. Some people don't understand. Well, why he talks to the Nation of Islam, or why he talks to the Panthers, or why he talks to this one. I want to talk to them all because we all need to be on the same goal. The goal should be the betterment of our community. Now, you may have a different way of doing it than me, but can we at least agree that we want the betterment of our community? And let's join together at least on that front. We can work out the small details later because we have too many people that splintered even in that. And that's completely wrong. So I feel I'm always the guy to be the peacemaker. That's how I am. I try to be peaceful with everybody. I try to have unification with everybody as much as possible that I can. Because I try to have more hope. Some people don't have hope, and I guess that's what keep me going is hope. Because a lot of times, let's say when I've lost hope for our community, and then you'll see someone show me a bunch of different things that will give me more and more hope for us to turn around. Because we look at these videos that we're posting, things that happen to Darren Seals, it can drain you even just reporting that stuff. You constantly seeing the death of your people, and you see people laughing about it and saying he deserved it. I mean, think about what we see as Black people in America. Have you ever seen a Black police officer kill a white teen, and then we went and got shirts that say I support Officer Tyrone Jackson, and we were selling shirts saying we support Tyrone Jackson when he killed a white kid that didn't do him much of anything? Okay, we have never put GoFundMe's up for Black cops and put it almost up to $500,000. We have never done that. We've never said, oh, these white children deserve it and all this other stuff. We don't do that. When have we ever done that? When have we ever had a Black cop that's just been all over the news? They sympathizing him when he killed a white child that didn't really do much or nothing to him. They deserved all that. You get what I'm saying? That never happens to Black cops. Even when Black cops are killed, you don't see them putting the flag half-staff because a Black officer was killed. You never see that stuff. But then they want to tell us something about our reaction. I mean, you see this stuff constantly happen in this country. And we talk about police brutality. But why is it that you don't see a bunch of Black officers just doing this stuff to white children or white men or white women? You don't see that. Or Asian cops or Hispanic cops. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I'm saying constantly happening over and over and over and over and over. We don't see that. I've talked to many Black cops, and they've told me we can't get away with what them white officers can get away with. They have, every last one of them have told me that to my face. They can't get away with it because they will go to jail. They don't play around with them. So, that's what gets so frustrating. And then you trying to relay that message to someone else outside of your community. Okay. And let them know, listen, it's not the same for us as it is for you. And when with that, I believe what the police say is the Bible deal, you just need to not even worry about it. And that's really, like I told y'all, that's what I learned from the past interview is that if you believe everything the police say, I can't tell you nothing. I'm not going to try. Because I've done too many stories and we caught them with lies, falsifying reports, even they got a body cam, they cut it on after they do the shooting. Why you didn't cut it on before you did the shooting? Now they messing with the body cams now. Oh, you talking about the trolls? Well, the trolls gonna be here. Like y'all have to understand these racist, white supremacist trolls. They have to stay on their job. I mean, and if you really have just a small conversation one up and you say, why is it if you love white people and you said you white pride, worldwide, and you're a white nationalist, I say, okay, so that means you love white people. Then you don't do nothing for white people. That's the thing that I don't understand. You don't do crap for white people. They have white veterans who's homeless right now underneath bridges. I don't never see you white nationalists or white supremacist trolls that's trolling me go and help out those white veterans. I never see that. Okay, but you love white people. There's white people who are dealing with crystal meth and heroin epidemic real bad. I don't see you white nationalists or white supremacist trolls going out to help those white people to get off of drugs. I don't see that. I don't see you white supremacist trolls or white nationalists going out to help the elderly white people that may need some treatment or they're struggling. I never see you do that. I never see you give scholarships to white children who could be poor that want to go to college. I never see white nationalists going out to help pay for cancer treatments for white people who's dealing with cancer and they don't have the funds to pay for the treatments. I don't see white nationalists doing anything for white people. The only thing you talk about is black people. That's it. You don't do crap for white people. Nothing. And all you talk about, well, y'all kill each other. It doesn't matter what we do to each other as black people. Your concern is supposed to be the life of white people and how you can make white people better because you're white pride worldwide. Please tell me what scholarship program have you made for white people, white nationalists or white supremacist trolls? Please do that. I'd like to know, how you're helping white people, because to me, you're not helping white people. You're actually making white people look bad. Maybe y'all know, y'all can tell me. Maybe y'all know something. Y'all tell me in the comment section, or like any of you white supremacist trolls, please tell me what, like, calling me names doesn't answer my question. What are you doing for white people? That's the only thing I'm asking you. I want to hear a scholarship. I want to know a program where white people can sign up or go online to get money for cancer treatments. It's very expensive in America. I want to know what are you doing for the white homeless vets, because you love white people so much. I want to know, what are you doing for white people? Please tell me, because calling me names ain't doing nothing for white people. Talking about what black people do or don't do doesn't have nothing to do with helping white people out. Nothing. Yeah, why are they quiet now? That's a simple question. What are you doing? And see, look, listen, this is what we're going to start doing from now on. When they come telling us stuff, it's like, fine, call me a name, but what are you doing for white people? What are you doing? Because while you're wasting time trolling me, you could be figuring out an idea of how to help white people out. That's what you could be doing. Why don't y'all, instead of giving money to Darren Wilson, y'all could have took that money and created a scholarship fund for white children that are poor, that they can go to college and get further educated. But no, you'd rather reward people that kill black people. And what good did that do? You could have educated so many poor white people, and you probably educated them. They probably been a lot smarter than you. And they probably wouldn't think like you, because people who are educated, they don't really think like you too much. But why don't you get together and do that? Sell shirts to feed homeless white people. And then you will be white pride worldwide. I am not nobody's preacher. I'm not nobody's pastor. Don't call me that. I'm just a brother from the community. I may be preaching right now, but I'm trying to get the white supremacists to tell me what they're doing for white people. And having Stormfront isn't doing nothing for white people. All you did was create a website to talk about and whine about black people. And at the end of the day, you wasted money on hosting and a domain name and keep up with the website just to talk about black people, instead of getting together on Stormfront and figure out what you can do for the white community. How are you going to stop the heroin epidemic and the crystal meth epidemic? What are you going to do about these pedophiles that's in your community? That's kind of getting bad. That is bad too, according to the FBI. What are you going to do about the Brock Turners of the world? What are you going to do about them that's only going to jail 90 days? Because they not just sitting up there raping black people or nothing. They're actually doing stuff a lot of times against their own people in their own community. What are you doing to stop that, to help maintain the betterment of white people, Mr. White Nationalist or Mr. White Supremacist troll? Give me a program. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. They're not making them look superior, ain't doing crap. I get what you're saying, but like they can't make themselves look superior. They can't, because in order for you to be superior, you have to be in a better position. And all those problems I described, they would be superior if they would say, well, you know what? I do this scholarship for the white kids. I provide this stuff for cancer patients. I get vets off the street, white vets off the street. I help them with mental health treatments when the VA fails them. You know, they will come up with all kind of programs to say what they're doing for white people. Y'all making videos somebody black on white crime is an epidemic. You still don't do nothing for white people by doing that. You just whining again. Like you tell us, we whine, so you whining. Yeah, I do have issues. You're right. I have some issues. I have issues with liars, devils, connivers. I do have issues with them. You're right about that. And you got to be half crazy to do what I do anyway, right? That's what y'all say about me anyway. So I might as well go ahead on and put on a show for y'all. Yeah. Crickets. Sunshine, right. Crickets. They haven't presented me one thing they do for white people. And that's how we're going to start getting them. We're not going to argue with them. Don't call them names. Don't do none of that. When they come tell us stupid crap, just say, what have you done for white people lately? That's it. Oh, you blacks. It don't matter if blacks kill each other. What are you doing for white people? Because blacks killing each other don't even affect you. If they killing themselves, you're not even nowhere around them, because you segregate yourself away from black people anyway. So why do you care what they do in Chicago? Why do you care? If they kill themselves off, why do you care? Because you have nothing better else to do with your life than worry about what black people do. I don't sit up there and think about other groups of people and what they're doing. If they're killing each other, they're doing this. All the time we talk about other groups of people unless they're messing with us. That's it. Other than that, we're not even on the radar. And when we talk about videos within our community, what's going on, you showing up. Now, y'all know good and well how I speak and what I talk about. Y'all know that. Most people do. And yet you still keep coming back complaining. Why do you complain? He's so biased. Why you keep coming back? You already know my leanings to a point. So why you keep coming back complaining that he's biased? Everybody say it about me. You got some dudes that say that about me. Women say that about me. Shoot, baby mamas, feminists say that about me. All kind of people say that about me. It is what it is. I just take a position. I've never said I never signed no dotted line to say I have to lean a certain way, and I could change my position if I so choose to, whatever that may be at the time. Yeah, I'm just running off top of the dome, y'all. Pastor Manning. Oh God. Pastor Manning, he makes me laugh. That's about it. I still haven't seen what they do for white people. I'm still looking for it. No, I'm not driving myself crazy. I'm enjoying myself. Y'all don't understand. You see a smile on my face. I'm not mad. I'm not upset, because I like smiling when I'm right. It's like I'm right about what I'm saying. They don't do nothing for white people. And I promise you, I'm going to start saying it a whole lot more in my videos. Y'all heard it here first. I'm going to start telling the white supremacists, what are you doing for white people? Because talking about us ain't getting it. Yeah, I saw Trump do that. Okay, well, give me a program of what you set up for white people, Mr. Arm History X or whatever you are. Well, what programs have you done for white people? Tell me that. You got a website so we can share it possibly for what you're doing for white people? Because actually, even being on this stream right now is not doing nothing for white people, because you could be, let me see, at least here it's 10:36. You could be figuring out a plan to, the next college school year going to be coming up here shortly. You can figure that out, what you can do for white people on that. You say you employ them. Okay, well, keep employing them. Then you need to go do more business so you can employ more of them. And being over here is not figuring that out. So if you're employing white people, supposedly employing white people, we have no proof of that. You're not doing no good just being over here. I just don't get that. Because it's like, if you hate somebody, why watch their videos? I mean, but y'all see this though. Y'all see this. You have white supremacist trolls who, and a lot of times these trolls are your coworkers. Y'all need to think about this. You know, we say trolls, but these are real people. And a lot of times these people work next to you and they can't say what they say on the YouTube or Facebook or Twitter to your face because they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to, you know, have to deal with you. So they come on the internet and they say this stuff. You'd be surprised how some of these trolls could be your own coworkers, because they're cowards and they won't say it to your face. I mean, they'll say all kind of N words on the internet, but they won't tell you that to your face. They won't even say 2 words to you. What do you say? Phil, why do you call facts blasphemy? Well, let's talk about that. I need to always know who's the author of these so-called facts, what's their political leanings, and usually, I live in the real world, not just on a piece of paper. And I tell people that, because you go to different places who having problems, go tell a poor man or a homeless man or woman, you know, well, according to this statistic, you know, not that many people is really hungry in the United States according to statistics. And then they're gonna be like, I don't care about no statistic. I want some food. And that's really why I live at. I live on the reality of the people that we live in. People aren't numbers. People are human beings. They're dealing with issues. And I just don't have time. Like I said before, I'm not trying to explain nothing to y'all no more. I ain't trying to convince you. That's not my job. You want somebody else to convince you, go ahead. Because I think after 4 years of trying to speak up about convincing y'all on some things, it's just a waste of my time. So I'm going to just put out the videos, the information, and just drive that home. And if you take it, you take it. You don't. But I'm not making no plea to any of y'all. That's why Black Lives Matter need to stop pleading with y'all. But my life matters. Stop pleading. If they want to accept your life matter, they'd accept it by now. We don't have to keep showing them. See how we treated different by police and you. They know that crap. They know it. Oh, look, they shoot us more than them. They know that. So unarmed. They treat us this. They know that. They know. They got the same videos you got. They got the same internet. They can watch 100 videos of it and still stuck in their head on what they think. So we have to get away from this wasting time of, let's have a conversation about race. No, we don't need no conversation. It's enough conversation out there. There's enough videos out there for you to go out and study on your own to make your own assessment. What we need to do is just put out the information in our community to always keep our head up, learn from what happened, good or bad, with these different scenarios that we're learning, and willing to fix our issues and problems and tackle them internally and outside. Because yes, we have to deal with white supremacy, but we also got to deal with the problems within our community as well. We have too much stuff going on within our own community that if we solve that, we can definitely defeat the outside forces a little bit better. Because we have to tackle, and I said this so many times, we have to tackle the issue of, you know, the thugs and the hyenas. We have to deal with that once and for all, because we can't like having to deal with that and dealing with white supremacy at the same time. I mean, that's a twofold war. We have to deal with that. That's why I've noticed that the more we put out, you know, the information and education of people, the more that people turn around, the more people grow. And that's what we just have to do, because we have to take a stance against this stuff that, you know, that's going on in our community. And we have to make these so-called politicians do what they're supposed to do, or boycott them economically. But the problem is with boycotts, Black people got too comfortable. And that's a lot of your problem too. You're way too comfortable. You don't want to go it out. You don't want to hold back, which is so easy to hold your money, but you don't want to do it unless something major happens. And why do we have to wait till somebody die for us to do that? You know, we could change so much public policy in America. We can literally make them do what we want and not beg them for nothing. But we don't want to go through no sacrifices to do it. You will never have change and we're not willing to make a sacrifice. And I'm not saying a sacrifice is putting your life on the line. Everybody has the ability with the power of the purse to make a change, to tell these people you're going to do this and you don't want to do it, fine. We're going to just hold the money. Their God is money. They say they Christians. They're not capable of being a Christian because they can't even follow the first commandment, to not have any other gods before him. Their God is money. Their God is capitalism. And they will kill. That's why I say you can go through every part of the 10 commandments and let you know they don't have the ability to be Christians or follow the word of God. They don't have the ability because they had to create a false version of Christianity to even enslave black people, to rape black people. You can't be a Christian and say you're going to do all that. You know, how you going to be a Christian, but you covet your neighbor's property, the Indians up there, Native Americans, you coveting their property. You want to take their stuff. That's stealing. You lie. You sit up there and made a treaty with them people. You're supposed to honor it. You're breaking it. Lying. See, but we're Christians. We love people. We ain't like that way. Those Muslim Sharia law. Y'all practice Sharia law every doggone day in America. What are you talking about? Somebody not Christian, well, at least your version of Christianity, and something should happen to them. You're not tolerant of nobody. That's not the Bible, but you're not capable. And they lie to themselves that they have this morality. You're not capable of morality. It shows in your actions. You're not capable. You go all over the world doing stuff. If you're a true Christian, you couldn't sit by and watch police brutality. You couldn't sit by and watch people get killed and think it's okay. You couldn't give your money to murderers. You couldn't sit up there and think white supremacy is okay because it's a doctrine of demons. If you're a true Christian. But see, like I said, they don't have the ability to be Christians. And the sad part is black people don't have the ability right now either, because you got a lot of these black preachers that's silent. They're not saying a word about the climate in this country. And they're more charged to say something more than me. They don't say anything. They're not out there trying to lead the people to righteousness. Nothing. But they in church every Sunday. Give me your 10%, or you'll have a hole in your pockets. The devil gonna put a hole in your pocket. God gonna curse you with a curse if you don't give you 10%. And they trick y'all so much with that. Y'all sit up there and believe what they tell you. They're quoting scripture from the Old Testament that was meant to go under the Levitical priesthood, and y'all just take it hook, line, and sinker. No business is being open, but we got billions of dollars going through the black church, and we don't see none of it. Oh yeah, well, like I said, people can call me whatever they want, but prove me wrong. Just prove me wrong. And I don't want to hear, well, the statistics. I don't care about them statistics. I'll tell anybody that. And I will always tell you to your face, I don't care about your statistics. And if anything you're gonna present to me, give me raw numbers. I'll take raw numbers a little faster than your percentages, your per capita, or whatever else you want to use. Give me raw numbers. That way, I can kind of see it, and maybe I can cross-reference the raw numbers a little bit. But they don't want to use raw numbers, because raw numbers a lot of times don't work too well for their agenda. So percentages work better for their agenda. And they have to try to say, well, you're the worst and your community is this and your community is that. But I'm like, I don't try to think about my community in relation to another's and say, well, let's see if I'm better than them or we're better than them in this. It doesn't matter. But see, when it comes to white supremacists, their whole being within themselves is predicated off of the rise and fall of the black man and black woman. Notice how when we come up just a little bit, they're angry about it. Even Jane Elliott said that when we did the interview, how angry they get to see us successful. Notice every time a black man has something in the media, they're always going to report either how much money he makes per year, how much money his house is worth, his car is worth. They always talk about the money with a black person. But you notice when a white person do something, they don't say he makes so and so much money a year. His house is worth this. It's not even relevant to what the person did or didn't do. But they always bring up the money. Why should he say anything? Because he makes so much money a year. He's doing good in this country. That stuff. It's always the money. Because the attitude is, how dare this black man or black woman make that kind of money, and I'm not making it. I'm struggling, and they're making it, and they're complaining about racism. How dare they? There's no such thing as black supremacy. There's no such thing, because in order for black supremacy to work, that means we would have to be in control of every aspect of America for black supremacy to work. Explain to me how black people are in control of the banking industry. How are we in control of that? No. Okay. Are we in control of Wall Street? Are we? No. Are we in control of the Senate? Mostly white, right? Correct. Are we in control of the House? Mostly white. Even in the White House itself, with President Obama, he may have some key people that's black, but his cabinet a lot of times is mostly white. Most of the judges in this country is mostly white. Most of the police are white males in this country. Okay. Hollywood is mostly owned by white or Jewish people. The music industry is owned by white people. Everything you could think of is mostly owned by white folks. So in order for us to be true black supremacists, we must have black supremacy where we own and control every bit of this country. And then out of our black supremacy affecting you because of the color of your skin, then we could truly have a black supremacist. But we don't have that. We don't have it. And you know good and well, I'm telling the truth. We don't control the media. We don't control nothing. So how can we really have black supremacy? This is why we say black people can't be racist. Black people can be bigoted, but they can't be racist. And I know it pisses you white supremacists off. You get mad to hear that one. But bigotry plus power equals racism. A black person can be bigoted towards you all day long, but they can't affect you. They can't affect you. Ain't nothing a black person say to you can affect you. If you go try to get a job tomorrow, right? Your white sounding name is not going to get you not a callback. It's not going to happen. We can go through so many different things in this country. No group of people, black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, they can be bigoted all day long, but they can't not be racist. They can't, because they don't hold the power. Now, y'all know you're going to run that back 100 times. Well, the guy says, I don't advocate that you do that. Cashy 54. I don't advocate that at all, because you're putting yourself in a position that you don't want to be in. And like, really? Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna give her a shout out, Cynthia G. You know, she said something and I thought that was real fly. She said, really, they have not really been deprived of black people ever since we've been here. We have not really moved away from them too much or deprived them from our, talent, entertainment, innovations, our bodies, whatever. And if we was to ever pull away and not fool with them, they would go crazy. Literally, they would go crazy. Like the black kids with the safe space thing. Imagine if, let's say Trump got in there Now the white supremacists are really acting a fool because like the brother Darren Seals, they pull guns on him because he's talking about Trump. So just talking about Trump, they want to pull guns. So imagine it gets so bad in this country that all the black students, every black student in this country, go enroll in a black college. They say, you know what? We don't want to deal with the issue no more. We're not going to beg for no safe space. We're going to just go on and go to the college. That way the whole college is a space for us. Fine. Who will suffer with that the most? The schools can care less if the black people draw. That's fine. They don't want the black athlete gone. If you guys knew how much money college sports make, they would not want those black players, male, female, gone. Because if you take all the black players out of college sports and put them at Jackson State and Grambling and Southern and all these different black schools, everyone would just go to the black college games. They wouldn't even go to Notre Dame games anymore because it's going to get bland and boring. You got to remember, even with baseball, before that was integrated, the Negro leagues made more money than the Major League Baseball. They actually did, if you do the research. So they wanted black players to get on because they wanted to generate those funds. The NBA, they would be destroyed overnight if every black man say, I'm just not going to play anymore. The NFL will be destroyed overnight. Notice all these black men now starting to take knees. Like you had another brother with the Broncos. He took a knee. I heard the Seattle Seahawks talking about taking knees too. And now all these players are starting to take knees during the national anthem. The NFL really can't go too hard at them. They could, but they really don't want to because the majority of the league is black. So if you start attacking black people, you're attacking the money. So it puts the NFL in a tight position. They can make a rule change. They can say, well, you got to stand up. But do they really want to do that and have a PR crisis? Black people don't even realize if they just remove themselves out of certain situations and how much this country depend on black people. I don't care what they say. When Marcus Garvey wanted us to go back to Africa to go and innovate African nations, they stood against Marcus Garvey for that. They didn't want us to leave. I just interviewed, and I'm going to post it probably this weekend. I interviewed Dr. Julius Garvey, Marcus Garvey's son. Good interview. I suggest whenever I put it up, you listen through it all the way through. And he was talking about that stuff, about how they don't want us to leave. They can say they want us to leave, but they don't because they make a lot of money off of black people. Our thing is we just want to be treated equally and fairly. That's it. I don't want to be lord and master over nobody. I'd rather be even with everybody. Hey, it's good people in all groups. I've met good people in all groups. Not everybody is hateful. Well, why can't the good people in all groups work together for good things? Yes, we all different. We come from different cultures. It happens. We're different. And it's a good thing that we all different. We're all supposed to be the same. But we just have that nasty devil element that tries to poison the good people from actually working together. Because while you have all this evil going on, everybody in this whole country is dealing with problems, and this country is tanking every day. And the only way you can really fix, unless everybody try to work together to fix it. But even the Bible teaches a house divided shall fall, and that's where you at right now. The people don't realize how this country is going down, down, down. And while you were hating us and pointing fingers at us, you're not even looking at your own people. Your own people set up so many policies and set up so many different things to hurt, you. And yet you don't say nothing about it, but you worry about the black man and black woman of America. We didn't come up with NAFTA to ship your jobs away. You can talk about Obama all day, and Obama's done some things I don't agree with either. But the stage been set for the longest. But every time they do something, it's somebody else's fault. It's the black people's fault. It's the Muslims' fault. It's the Mexicans. We need a wall fault. It's everybody else's fault but their own. They never can. And I remember, I don't know if you saw the Jane Elliott interview. I asked her about that. I said, why can't they take responsibility for their actions, but they tell us to? He said, they can't. He said, because they do, it won't last for 2 minutes. They won't accept responsibility for anything. But we supposed to. It is. You know, people don't see that, but I see it. It's like I can see it. It's like I can see it over the horizon. It's like just like I said, I saw the black kids starting to want to say, I want to move away from them. It's like I see it coming. It's like this the stage is setting itself up. And the same thing you talked about, white supremacy. I see that how that's falling because people don't realize the position of America in the world is not a good one. It's true. It's not. America don't have the respect anymore it used to. It has nothing to do with Barack Obama. It's because the world is tired of the things that we are doing all over the world. You can't have this global domination of every country in the world. Eventually, people are going to get tired of that. Every nation is sovereign. You can't go in there pointing your fingers at people and then they watch your black citizens getting shot down by police. Like they can't see the internet. Your moral high ground is gone. You have no morality to say anything. And it's because of the internet and social media. You can't talk about us no more and say we just so bad and we lie. No, we put out the truth. That's why I like showing the video. So you can't say, well, he's just making it up and he's just trying to twist the story. No, 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 no. I want to show you a video before I say a word because video get the message across a lot more than someone that's just talking. Some things I don't even do sometimes because I don't have a video. Because I want you to see it. That more than just me saying it. Hmm. One person said, "Oh, okay." She's talking to somebody else. That's addressed that. One lady named Vanity Posh says if someone falls in love with someone of another race, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, at the end of the day, you do what you want to do. That's how I feel about it. Now, if you want to know my opinion, just my opinion. If you're going to, well, let's say black people, if you're going to date, marry outside of your race, I feel you should get with a person of another group, people of color. Because if you get with a person outside of people of color, you're going to have some problems. That's the only thing I'm saying. And as this person, are they willing? And they could be. So don't. It's not an all be all. What I'm about to say. If they're willing to take up your struggle, are they willing to take up your fight? Are they willing to be ostracized from their own community for standing up for you? If they're willing to do that, then hey, because I met some white people that go in. I met some white people that fight hard for social justice, and they're hated. They call social justice warriors. They call leftists. They call all these names. But you meet them, they just good people, and they talk to you and they say, "Look, I see what's wrong in this country. I've done the research. I'm angry because I was lied to just as much as you were lied to, and I want to make a difference." And if it's those kind of people, the people that have, if they have a spirit of an abolitionist, that's what I'm gonna say, that kind of spirit, then it's a little different. But if they don't have an abolitionist spirit, then you just can't fool with them. And also a black person, you can't give it another black person. They got that mindset of being a shucking and jiving, tap dancing coon. You can't be with them either. That's worse. So make sure the person you with is about your life, the struggle you're going to deal with, because dealing with you as a black person, black man, black woman, that comes with it. And they have to understand that's part of being with a black person. Because you have some of them, and this will cause a lot of problems with relationships with black people, is that they're like, well, I don't really deal with, I don't really see race. I don't deal with it. But you got to, because eventually it's going to come up in some way, form, maybe not in your household, but it's going to come up some way, form or fashion. And if you love that person, you're willing to take on all their struggles, whether you understand them or not. You're willing to get educated in these struggles, and you're willing to do anything you can to help. Let's see here. What's this here? Okay, well, blacks are incapable of logic, reasoning, and so I guess what you are capable of it, I guess. And if you think that, then why are you here? I'm just asking. Like, I would not sit there and listen to someone that don't have logic or reasoning, um, and abstract thought or structural thinking. I wouldn't listen to that kind of person if I felt that way. I would say, "Oh, I'm about to hear this crap. I'll go somewhere." So actually makes you look bad to be listening to someone like that. But it goes back to the obsession that white supremacists have for black people. It don't matter if they are the most uh, have a doctorate, or they can be a person on the street that have not a lick of education. You can't stay away. We know we special. We know we special. We know that you just can't get enough of us. I mean, we don't know what your life would be without us. You know, you say you want us to go back to Africa. You don't want us to go back. Because this will be the most. This country turn into a third world country. I promise you, we go back. Well, yeah, I know, sunshine. I know exactly. Like they say that, but yet they over here. Like why don't you go to Stormfront to live stream? You know what I'm saying? But that's how they are. They always want to be in our conversations, whatever we got going on. You know, I hate black people, but I'm gonna listen to. I'm gonna sit there 3 hours listening to a live stream. I mean, that's stupid. But it's the things that they do, unfortunately. Oh man, I tell you, y'all in this comment section. I'm just sitting up here laughing at it. Does it get to you the amount of hate, the stupidity? No, because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really have no hate for people like that. So what's going on? Man, who was it? Cruff 39. Vanity Par says there's so much hatred in here. People worry about other people's business. Yes. One lady say well it says well I think it's a lady. Love all people to enjoy hearing others' ideas. I'm cool with hearing others' ideas. I just don't like when people try to be condescending. Yeah, you're right about that, TJ Mac. If we leave, they'll be right behind us. Shoot, we look in South Africa. They over there too. Well, Cat Girl, Jesus was not a Caucasian. You have been fooled. Jesus was nowhere near a Caucasian. If you do the research, Jesus have his skin color look more like mine. When you do the research, they had to take like this goes back to what we said earlier. Um, they had to create a false version of Christianity. And it was part of the indoctrination of white supremacy to make Christ look like them. And then they fed it to the slaves, and they wanted the slaves to think Christ looked like them so they could seem that they're more superior than the slave. And unfortunately, a lot of black people did not do the research, but now they're doing a lot of research and they're getting it now, that they have been fooled. So the information is out there, but on the area of you say the black church and you was addressing that, that's one issue we really have to um, go full force on, because the black church is literally being a relic, and it's not even doing the work of Christ as it should be. You shouldn't have no $2 and $3 million churches and you don't have $2 or $3 million worth of work in the community. I'm sorry. You that's not even right. Your sanctuary should equal the amount of work that's going out, and we have too much work to do outside in the community, and we don't see the preachers nowhere. We don't see them leading their congregations. Now, college, like the preachers of back in the day during the civil rights movement, those preachers actually got out there. Martin Luther King, he was a preacher. There's many preachers with him, but the preachers of the day, where are they at? But every time you look up, they caught up some scandal with some woman with money or whatever else. Yeah, they were Bentleys. And I ain't got a problem with no Bentley. That's what you want. I wouldn't buy a Bentley. I think that's stupid. I mean, wasting money on a car like that. But they doing all this stuff. But what are you doing for your people? And that's the problem. And as Black people, I wish that we would shift those billions we give in there and shift that to helping people create businesses or supporting Black-owned businesses so they can grow, because those are the people that's going to hire you more. Because another problem that we have is that we don't create enough jobs for Black people, and then you have to go into this workforce and deal with people that may not like you or only want you to be on the job because the government say they have to give you so many jobs. If we would take those 10% that we give in every Sunday and focus it on job creation within our own community, then we don't have to worry about dealing with a Black woman having more education than any woman, but yet she can't get a job over a white woman with a high school education. That happens all the time. You wouldn't have to deal with those things. So it's so many internal issues that we need to solve with ourselves, but we have to make some different moves because we not getting ahead as Black people for the moves that we're making. It just like when I look at the situation with the Black hair care, there's no reason why the Asian community should be controlling Black hair care or Black hair care products. That is the Black. If anybody should control that, it should be the Black woman. The Black woman should be controlling and selling and giving things out when it comes to the hair. And we have to start aggressively, you know, like Donald Trump would say, he said, take the country back. We need to take back our stuff. And Black hair care is our stuff. And if we don't take it back, we're stupid as Black people. We're stupid. And that's why everybody look at us and look down on us sometimes, is because we let everybody make billions of dollars off of us. And then you have those same people look down on us like, man, they some stupid people. They don't set up, they don't even take care of their own stuff. No, we don't control no other group stuff. We don't control all the Asian restaurants and all the Asians have to come to us for Asian food. But we the only group of people that will sit there and let everybody else control stuff. Why? How come Black people can't open up more beauty supply stores, not just beauty salons, but beauty supply stores, and support that Black person and get all the business and even online? And why can't we do that? That's a $5 billion a year business that could be coming into the Black community. And the Black people don't own much of it at all. I think people outside the community own 96% of it. So what is that? 4% Black owned, but yet it's all about Black people. This is where it come in that all these Black women with these master's degrees in business, y'all need to get together. Y'all need to huddle together and come up with a plan and take back Black hair care. This is billions of dollars that should be going to the Black community. It should be putting your children through college, not other people's children. It should be putting your children. Why are Black women struggling with all these business degrees, sitting at home, when you literally got the business right there? You're a Black woman. You know how about Black hair. You know about everything with it. You go into some of these hair care stores, and some of them, y'all know what I'm talking about, some of the Asian people looking at you funny, following you in the store and doing all this stuff. Why are we dealing with that stuff? Well, we have the talent right here in our community to take that back. If anything, it should be 96% Black owned and then 4% everybody else. That's why I say this is stupid. There's so many different things that we need to do. From Black hair care to appropriating our funds, not just giving all our 10% to churches that's not doing nothing. Now, the church you're going to is great. They do something, hey, support them. But if you know yours is not, then we need to figure something else out. Our kids aren't getting properly educated with African history as well. Why can't we take these funds and open up schools so we can educate our children properly and not educate our kids with an indoctrination of white supremacy? And even Jane Elliott even said that too, about you will be indoctrinated white supremacy going to public schools. See, so many things that we should do and that we can do as our community. And if we just take back what's ours, realize our power, realize that people are parasites on us. Everybody getting fat off of us, but we ain't getting fat off ourselves. We can be a big force to be reckoned with in this country. All we have to do is unify, keep other people out of our business, keep other people's opinions out of our business, and fix our issues. We won't have problems anymore. Think about it. If you get black hair care back, think about all the jobs that you can create to give to kids. They had some kids recently. It was like 4 boys. They just wanted jobs because they didn't want to go in a gang. Now think about that. Not every black boy that's young want to be in a freaking gang. They really have a job. Now it's our job to provide jobs for our children. And you know what the old people say, the idle mind is the devil's playground. And that's the problem. They have too much idle time. Kids need to be doing something, chores, a job, something. And we don't provide jobs for our kids. We have to think that way. See, my thing is, I'm not trying to tell people to feel sorry for us. What I'm trying to tell us to do is let's take our power back. Let's take our industries back. Let's, people getting fat off the hog off of us. Let's rip all that away from them and take care of us first. Then we'll deal with other people. Well, you say you ain't got no jobs in Memphis. Well, create some jobs. Create them. That's the problem. We can create jobs just like every other, because one thing other communities do, they create jobs and they hire their people. One person was saying about what Asians hire Asians, and they supposed to. I'm not mad at them. They create jobs and they hire their family. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to create a job and hire your family. Even underneath the law, you can hire your own child to work in a business for you, pay that child up to $6,000 a year and actually write off $6,000 for paying your child. That's even in the law. There's no child labor laws if it's the parent owned the business. Yeah, one person talked about bacon, pork, and something else they just talked about with food. And that's another thing. I definitely made a change in that area, big time change. I think I'm going into the 5th week of it where, I don't eat meat. I don't eat pork, chicken, fried foods, none of that, because it's just not good. My trainer put me on a particular diet. It's working out great. And, we as black people, all of us, a lot of times eat horribly. Even when we say soul food, which is really slave food. I mean, that's food that we created on the plantation because we were just left with what we had to do. We had to deal with what we had. You know what I'm saying? So we did make it, but now we know certain things we should not be eating. And unfortunately, when I did the research, a more plant-based diet is actually better for African Americans than eating meat. Meat is more so a Neanderthal diet. You want to say that? Eating too much meat, it tears us apart. Eating too much meat, too much dairy. That's why you have a lot of African Americans lactose intolerant, because you're not really supposed to have a lot of dairy. There was a food chart, and you can go look at it. If you type in African American food chart, it'll show you actually that the biggest thing we need to be eating is, a plant-based diet. Some bread, yes. I mean, but it's totally flipped than the food pyramid that they show that what you should be eating on your servings. And you can research, into that if you would like. But for me, when I stopped eating the red meat, pork, chicken, all different things like that, eat more vegetables, I guess vegetarian, vegan, whatever you want to call it, the first thing that I noticed difference with me, I got more energy um, than before. My workouts are a lot better. The weight is coming off. You know, I'm happy about that. My suits are fitting a lot better. Um, and I don't miss meat. A lot of cravings I have for sugar and cravings I have for bread, they immediately like just left me. So let's say like when I go to Subway, I get nothing but veggies on a flatbread. Let's say if I go to Subway, I don't get no meat. Um, at first it was hard though, because like, dog, I like, certain meats and chicken and all of those stuff. But once I got it used to it, I'm like, if you can make it, I think about 4 weeks without meat, you can do good. Of course, you got to stay away from too much, carbs and the breads and all the stuff like that. So, nope, don't fool. You say white, but I like actually, I'm supposed to be eating that kind of rice, but yeah, actually, it is good. What you put on yours? Because me, when I put on mine, my veggie sandwich, I put lettuce, baby spinach leaves, onions, those red onions they serve over there, and shoot, what else? Jalapeno peppers, um, think like little shredded cheese a little bit, and I put like a little sauce on it, whatever, and that's it. And I go to town. No, not the no. They serve the red ones, not the white ones. What? Let me see. I don't fool with them. No, I know what you said about them veggie patties that serve at Subway. I looked into it, and the reason why I didn't eat it no more is because it had too much salt in it. And as black people, we need to watch in taking too much salt because some of us, may deal with high blood pressure. So if you can kind of keep your salt to a normal level and kind of stay away from too much salt. We do, but we have to take. Yes, you're right. We do have the best genes in the world. You're right about that. But yeah, eat plant based. Uh-huh. Well, y'all talking about avoid dairy. I'm gonna tell you about that. I can't. I tried the coconut milk. It's okay, like with a shake. Um, but eating cereal with coconut milk, no. I tried the almond milk. Nah, I can't eat my cereal with that. I gotta have my cow milk. Sorry, I gotta have it when I eat cereal. But I don't. But I'm not the type of person that every day I'm drinking milk, drinking, drinking, drink. No, I don't do that. I drink mostly water. I got my what is it? I don't know if y'all see this. I got my Yeti cup right here, and I love my Yeti cup. They gave me this for Father's Day, and I just keep refilling my Yeti cup of water. I don't put no juice in that thing or nothing. So rice milk, coconut, and almond mixed. I didn't like that coconut water. Well, y'all know you like the almond milk cruff. I can't fool with it. But like I said, just give me my organic cow's milk. I eat a little bit of it with some cereal. It's not enough to even register on the scale of me being a quote unquote dairy person. Because when you're trying to get in shape, dairy is something that you want to kind of limit, at least much as possible. But like I said, I've never been a person that's been obsessed with dairy like that. Some people love dairy, but you're right. Too much sugar is the devil. You ain't lying about that one. Yeah, I see y'all talking about the cashew milk. Yeah, I've seen they had that. Um, but like I said, I have a lot of people that's really some experts in that. And like I say, Sister Sadia, they big into that too. And I think Brother Derek as well. Um, and I want to get more into that. Like so I told them, I said, listen, I'm gonna wait to I hit my target and be my right weight before I even start talking about or really bringing that on, because he'll be like, "You should take your own advice." I'm like, "So let me finish doing what I got to do, and then we'll go from there." Soy milk, don't drink that, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't drink that soy milk. Um, I went to the doctor when I started drinking a lot of it, and it had my what did it raise up? My calcium higher than, because soy milk has more calcium in it. And also men shouldn't be drinking soy milk because it has estrogen in it, and it can mess up your it can raise your estrogen levels in your body over your testosterone. So men shouldn't be fooling with that. It'll throw your hormones completely off if you ingest it too much. So don't fool with the soy milk. Yeah, you're right about that red meat. That red meat, and think about it. When you eat red meat, your body does not like process that right. It takes a while for red meat to process through your system. Then also with me, I read the blood type diet and seeing what would affect my metabolism. And even though I have no food allergies, but certain foods would affect my metabolism. So I also want to stay away from those foods as well. Now, what my trainer had me do, he had me go like just strip me of all that, like just straight veggies or whatever, for like about 6 weeks. And then, well, I'm in week 5. And then what he wanted me to do after the 6 week, week 7, to introduce one piece of like fish or whatever I want to eat, chicken. But I say if I was to do it, it'd be fish, because I don't want to food with meat. I don't want to food with chicken, nothing like that. But really, I don't miss it. That's the thing. And you would think that, you do your workouts or whatever, you're not eating meat. You would think that, oh man, I'm a pass out because I'm not eating meat. I mean vegetables and more. And no, you good. And then I was doing some research with people on YouTube, and they were saying that their skin was clearing up without eating the meat. Their hair was growing longer. They had more energy. So I was like, well, that's kind of, that's amazing that what you eat affects you like that. Oat milk. I've never even heard of oat milk. Yeah, but one thing Dr. Sebi has said, and that's the truth. He has said that no black leaders talk about health. We talk about white supremacy and all that, and that's important. And the issues we have in our own community, that's important, but we don't talk about health. And we are literally dying every day due to this diet in America. Like, black people wasn't meant to eat this diet. Because I trust me, guys, I've been doing so much research on diet, how it affects, other groups of people versus, us. I've been doing heavy research and I haven't done no videos on it, but I'm telling you guys, the way we eat is the reason why we have all this diabetes and high blood pressure and, cholesterol, and why we dying before our time is because we're not meant to eat that meat like that, and the pork and all this other stuff. It's literally detrimental to African Americans. And I say, okay, so I started reading that and I started looking into it a little bit more. I said, but they don't teach you that. They won't teach you that. We're all different people, and different people need different things due to blood type, maybe gender, and even, when it comes down to race. You can't have a blanket food just for everybody. He say, where do I try? Well, my trainer has his own gym, so I don't go to a one of your 24 Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, or nothing like that. He has his own. Well, you know what? If you're trying, I'm telling you, just from personal experience, if you're trying to lose weight, I'm telling you, leave that meat alone. Just go on a, I call it 90% vegan diet. Just go on a vegan diet. But if you like me, you still got to have your milk from time to time or your cheese from time to time. That's fine. But whatever, go on that. And I promise you, you will start. But don't eat don't eat like divulge in too much bread, because that's a lot of carbohydrates. And a person like me, I eat too much bread, it goes right to my stomach. That's exactly where it goes. And then it makes it so hard to get rid of it. Now, for me, I don't drink beer or nothing like that, thank God, because beer belly is so hard to lose. And I feel for somebody that drinks beer all the time. Um, but watch your carbs. Don't get it twisted that, well, I can eat so many of these sandwiches. Now you can get that bread. That I have gotten that 45 calorie bread. I don't know if you guys saw that bread. It's like about that thin or whatever. You can eat a sandwich, but try to eat sandwiches during the day. Don't eat them like after 7 o'clock, because from I read, breads, rice, all this other stuff is guaranteed to make you gain weight if you eat it in the nighttime hours, because our body in the nighttime hours naturally get in a rest mode, versus during the day our body is constantly burning off our calories, whatever we ingest. So let's see here. Yeah, you're right. It do have a lot of chemical additives in that. But like I said, we can't be here for our community to do the things that we need to do, and we're sick. There's one sister I know. She was coughing so much. Cough was nasty, and I'm like, why this sister don't put down his cigarettes? We have to take care of our bodies. You can't be smoking cigarettes like that. These cigarettes will kill you. It is guaranteed. They got a big warning on there telling you gonna get cancer, heart disease, all this stuff, and you smoking. Like, that stuff is just not good. You know, um, Drinking too much, getting drunk all the time. That's not good. That's eventually going to kill you. Now, social drinking is fine. Some people like to have their one glass of wine a day, in which they say there's some health benefits to having one glass of red wine a day, heart health benefits. But not getting tore up, you know what I'm saying? Getting drunk, like, you down a bottle of Ciroc and all this other stuff. I mean, social drink a little bit with your friends and have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just don't be getting drunk. Like, for me, I don't even know how it feels to be drunk. I've never been drunk a day in my life, because the reason why I don't want to get drunk is because I don't know how I'm act. I don't know if I'm gonna get angry. I don't know if I'm gonna be a happy drunk. I don't know. So I just only want to experience it. And then I see people that's been drunk. It don't look good to watch them puking and having a headache all day. Like, why I want to do that crap? I hate headaches on a good day. Yeah, sports drinks got too much sugar. Yeah, you're right about that. I never well, let me stop you right there. I never said all whites are bad. I said, notice I keep saying white supremacists. White supremacists is different than white people. Now, if I felt all of them were bad, I would say it. I have no hair on my tongue not to say something. If I felt all of them are bad, I wouldn't go on nobody's show as white or nothing like that, because one thing about me, if I hate for real. I don't have step with mine. So I can definitely target who I can't stand, and I will mention that. So unless you hear me saying all, which I don't say all really toward nobody. That's why you notice I make sure to curate certain names like Fire Cross Teachers, Why Ain't a Hood Rat, um, black phobic, white supremacist. That's an old word, but whatever. I make sure to use these terms so you know that I'm describing a certain behavior from people. I'm not just using a blanketed statement. Now, some people in the comment section, they say things like that, but the only thing you can judge me on is what I say in my videos. Yeah, I don't get why people do that. Well, you talking about Tim Wise? We definitely tried to reach out to him, so hopefully, he can come on. Y'all discussing Tupac and Biggie, huh? Protein powders. Yeah, some of them not good. You're right about that. Yeah, African Heritage Diet Pyramid. I think that's it. Is that the one that shows you exactly how? What do I think if people of color united on this soil? Shoot, we don't know. There's a lot of wild and hood rats in Atlanta. Shoot, they got them here in Houston too. They're everywhere. They worldwide. America ain't the only place where the hyenas at now. Well, I wouldn't use the word vanity. I wouldn't use the word racist. I would use the word bigoted. That's not my business, Tony. I got too much going on over here to be worrying about what other people doing. I will tell you that much. Y'all keep talking about Trump. Look, I it would surprise me if Trump win. I mean, you want me to be honest? I'm a realist. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. Don't if Donald Trump were to win, don't think I'm like, oh my god, 'cause it's like it's literally the stage is being kind of set for him to win. I mean, because I'm looking at the moves Hillary pulling, and I'm like, wow, man. I said Hillary messed it up. I mean, every time they put her on a hot seat about them emails and all that lying, it's like now Trump, you like say you know what you're getting with him. You know exactly what you're getting. Somebody that's BSing and is going to say any old thing. But we screwed either way. You get Hillary, you screwed. You get Trump, you screwed. Amanda Sanders. I try everything I do has a purpose. Believe it or not, it may not sound like it has a purpose, but it has a purpose. What do you say about the? What if the Soviets took over Russia again? I wouldn't care if they did. I don't live there. So that's the difference with me. I couldn't do what these people do on that world domination kick. I'm like, look, man, y'all live in y'all country. Y'all do what y'all want to do. As long as you don't come over here messing with us, we good. Well, people, boy, the thing is, what makes me laugh though about these people, they talking about Black Lives Matter. Like I said, in one instance I have my issues with Black Lives Matter, but then another instance it makes me laugh because I mean they literally like just can't stop saying Black Lives Matter. Like really, Black Lives Matter. They've kind of been quiet lately. If you think about it, they haven't really been out there per se. If you think it, they haven't, but they won't stop talking about it. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Like Jesus Christ. If you would actually believe the term Black Lives Matter, maybe they can go away. But you don't believe that. Yeah, they love to say that. Black Lives Matter, they're terrorists. Yeah. They said the same thing about the Black Panthers. Everything that black people do, they're terrorists, they're communists. You know, anytime you stand up against white supremacy and oppression, something's wrong with you for doing that. It don't matter if you do it in a very eloquent way. It don't matter if you don't destroy anything. Just like the Nation of Islam, you ain't seen them out there doing anything, but they hate Louis Farrakhan. They can't stand Louis Farrakhan. Trust me. But I give Louis Farrakhan this. This is what I give him, and I'm forever trying to learn. But you can't deal with Louis Farrakhan back and forth. He got it. He's on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that like I said, I need to study more into this myself, because I'm more focused on commentating and speaking and not doing back and forth to people too much. But I need to start studying the some of the greats that do it like that, because they shut them people down. I've seen some interviews he's made. That's why they don't even invite him on those shows. Like all that crap O'Reilly talk, he never invite Louis Farrakhan. You would think he would, but he don't invite him. Did I see Quanell X endorse Trump? Um, I heard something to that effect. What are my thoughts on Jill Stein? I think she good. She seems like she good people, but she's not going to win. Well, brother Malcolm was here. Shoot, he'd be a senior citizen by now. So it would be his fight anymore. It's the young people got to take up the fight. Well, if Tommy Lauren was to ever ask me to come on her show, I would go. But understand, if I was to go on Tommy Lauren's show, I already know what I'm getting into. So I'm not going to be, I guess, as laid back with her. I'll be going in there just, to try to kind of like how, if I have to, how I did the video with Angela Box. You see, I wasn't really laid back with her. Well, that's kind of similar. I would probably come with her. If she says something stupid, I'm just gonna just probably fly off of the handle, because she doesn't like to have a discourse with anybody. She want to say something stupid. It's the same thing like you say if you talk to Larry Elder. He's that way. He's just angry all the time, and drafted into what? I'm too old for that. Thoughts on Gucci Mane? He lost a lot of weight. Amber Lee, what's going on? His channel lost a lot of money since the. I haven't really looked into that. The question you asked about the demonetization. We just don't want to be in a position where we are so dependent on one source. We have to, the one thing about the bigger YouTubers, they don't just depend on this. They, have people doing a Patreon. That's mostly everybody's doing that. Patreon. They doing shirts, which I have some ideas for some shirts that we can start selling. They doing books, which I got to finish my book. Then I can start, offering my book to sell. They doing all kind of different things, bro. Sponsored videos. So when we eventually get a sponsored video, trust me, we will take the sponsored videos because it helps, for the other streams. So it's just multiple things that other people do. And, even though our numbers are a certain way, we still in the middle range. We haven't crossed that threshold, because from what I found out, that from 0 to 100,000, you consider on the low end on YouTube. Then from 100 to a million, you still in the middle area. And then from 1 million and up, where you're in the the top part of YouTube. So that's from what I found out. So I'm still in the middle. I haven't crossed the 1 million threshold yet, And now maybe when we cross the 1 million threshold, maybe some things will be different. Maybe we will be a different force to be reckoned with. So Robin, who's a Robin DeAngelo? Okay, well. Let me look her up real quick since you mentioning her, because see, one thing, y'all tell me something, but then I'm gonna forget, and that's what happens with me. So a lot of times I'll just go it on and look right then and there. You say the chick's name is Robin DeAngelo? Okay, there she go right there. Okay, I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check her out. Does she have a channel? Because it don't look like she has a channel. It's like people just uploading her stuff. And y'all say, oh, her name is Dr. Robin DeAngelo. Okay, well, if she what you say she is, I mean, then we need to find her, bring her on the show. Then you say she Jane Elliott 2.0, huh? Okay. Well, let's check into it and let's see if we can bring her on. I mean, thank you guys for telling me, because I didn't know about her. No, I'm not getting nobody's iPhone. What is my opinion on hoteps? I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion. The Georgetown University protest, I haven't looked into it, so I'll have to look into it. Are you still going to visit Africa? Yes, one day I plan on doing that. I also want to do a documentary over there, because the propaganda is, African nations are hellholes, and what I want to do, at least for my documentary, I want to go hit a lot of different of the countries and talk to the people, show the beauty of it, and just package it together real well, and just to flip the propaganda on its head. Now they have also a documentary called Blacks Without Borders, where a lot of blacks from here went to different African nations and became very successful. Well, Bobby. Well, you know what? If it is, well, tell them white folks to get out of Africa. Then, if that's the case, tell them get out and don't come back. They don't even believe what you just said. Robin DeAngelo talks about what? What it is, white privilege, among other things. Okay. Well, I want to talk to her, and I want her to let me know about white privilege, because let me tell you something. they hate um when I bring people on like that. They hate that junk. Oh my god, they hate it. And but we'll see. Everybody's asking me that question, Sunshine. I mean, at the end of the day, we do what we do. Second Amendment right, Second Amendment. We got a whole lot of things to fix before we even worry about that. Bobby Schmurder got 7 years in prison. Well, you know what? With Bobby Schmurder, let's talk about that. Bobby Schmurder, whatever his name is. If you get on, you can't be running around with your thug friends no more. You got to get away from that stuff. Your friends got to change. You in the hood, you got to hang around, you hang around, but you got too many eyes on you, especially a black man. You start making some money as a black man, okay? You have to watch yourself, because you think you was a target before, you'll be more of a target then. So since you're a target, you got to make certain moves. You got to make sure you pay the tax man right. You can't be around people doing drugs and even caught in situations, with these women. If anything, you should be having cameras around you at all times, just so if somebody accuse you of something, say, man, shoot, they're alive. We got a camera right there. As I stated earlier, we'll try to reach out to him, but also I'm gonna look into Dr. Robin, the whatever lady is, I put her name. I'm gonna look into her. Now let me ask people like Bobby, since Bobby's one of our favorite people here in the chat room. Bobby, what do you think about white people that speak up against white privilege? Are they like they always say that. That's true. Yeah. Oh, well, they just leftists. I'm like, that's just crazy to me. So well, one minute when we say, well, all these Republicans are racist, they say, all Republicans aren't racist. But yet, when a white person stands up against racism, they have to be a leftist. So which one is it? Either all Republicans aren't racist or all Republicans are racist. You can't say they're leftists just because they speak up against racism. Yeah, Bobby been talking all that time. Oh, you talking about Trump and Hillary? Like I said, it's all a farce at the end of the day. Like I said, no matter who they vote in, we screwed. I keep telling y'all that we screwed. We are screwed. Keep telling you that. Why is it then? If white privilege is not real, then why people like Tim Wise has a career? Then speaking up about white privilege, why Jane Elliott has been speaking up about it for many years. But yeah. The thing, let me tell y'all about there's a code within their circle and their community, and that code is when white privilege is spoken about, deny, and then deny some more. Don't ever admit to white privilege, whatever you do, because if you admit to it, that means you have to deal with it, and they know good and well. Like I say, every honest white person would tell you, yes, I can do things that you can't do because I'm white. They will admit that. And they hate when you see a white person come up admitting that stuff because they've been told to deny. They will never admit it. What is white privilege? Then they ask you a stupid question. Well, explain to me, what is white privilege? Why should I explain that to you? You already know what it is. You're living it every day in white supremacy. So why should I explain that to you? And then white people come up and say, oh yeah, I know I can do this. I know in the store I'm not watched. I know the police is not going to bother me. Sure, I can even cuss the police out. They're not going to do me nothing. Not to say we want to cuss police, but still, they get less education. They can get higher than you. Shoot, the article came out that they're 228 years ahead of blacks in the area of wealth because of all the free labor of slavery. We can just keep going on and on and on talking about that stuff, but these people, like I said, they sick. I don't know what's wrong with them. They need help. Free mental help or something. Like some people was telling me we should make racism a crime. I say, shoot, you make racism a crime, you have half of the country in jail. Well, I'm gonna buy a Collins jersey. I don't know. I'm just at the age I don't wear jerseys no more. I guess I was going to a San Francisco game, but just for me to buy a jersey, I mean, because I mean, yeah, I get it. He's standing up, and that's awesome. But I mean, I can do the man a better service by just talking about him on the platform. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's not something that he created. It's still going to the San Francisco 49ers to a point. I wish I did. Then we wouldn't be here no more. You know what? You're right. You're right about that. Some of my biggest fans are white supremacists. You're right about I didn't, you know, you're right. I just thought about that because they watch every video. They sit on this live stream this late at night. I mean, they are faithful fans. And I usually don't use that word fan, but with them I will. They are faithful fans. They love me. They love everything I do. Any video I'm on, they gonna go show up at. They will. Talking about me, calling me names. But they love me though. I'm their guilty pleasure. They can't get enough of me. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, the ISIS Papers by Francis Cress Welsing. I've been meaning to. I have never read that one. I need to order that book. Yeah, yeah, they love me. Yeah, they can't stay away. They go complain. Like I'm telling y'all, if you want to see what they say, like they just congregating and they just angry about me, go to Steven Crowder's channel and check out the video with me and him, the extended one that he posted. Check that one out, and then just go through the comments. I mean, they are just going in. They going in. He's stupid. He's dumb. He's an idiot. I was like, well, man, if I'm stupid, dumb, and an idiot, you can imagine if I actually got a little smarter, what I can do. What do you say? They what? I subscribed to your channel a while back because all you talk about is white, but not even your own kind. What is my kind? The Koreans, are they planning to bomb? Like, I don't care what that man do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they mentality. You know, it's something for the books because it make your head hurt trying to understand them because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Now, I've been doing this stream, I don't know how long, and they've been here the whole time. I can understand you coming in a little bit and make your comment and walk off, but they've been sitting here the whole time. I guarantee you, if I was to sit here, which I'm not, if I was sit here 8 hours talking, they'll be here 8 hours talking too. Trying to run off at the mouth. Talking, talking, talking. Like, man, you ain't got a girlfriend? You ain't got nowhere to be? Yeah, they prove my point, Ashlyn. They sure do. They prove my point every time they prove my point. Because if you talk like a white supremacist, I'm gonna call you a white supremacist. It's just that simple. You talking about President Obama? Well, I'd to speak to him, but what else would I say to him? I mean, he about to get out now. I mean, there ain't nothing you could really tell him now. He would how many months he got? He got what September. He's got a few months left. Only thing he can do now is pardon people, and I mean, unless he do something spectacular right before he leave out. I mean, he just chilling. Yeah, I guess you can look at it like that because they do stalk. They stalk all day long. And then one person was one of the idiots is like, "You're getting mad." I'm not mad. I mean, when I get upset, trust me, you would know. But I'm chilling. I'm in a good mood. I'm relaxed. Um, we just talking about the psychotic and evil nature, of those people because they just I've just never seen that before. I don't think she should be doing that. The unconstitutional bail system in America. I have to look more into it. Yeah, I'm just kind of glancing. Um, but sure, guys, I'm probably just want to just like I say just chit chat with y'all just a little bit. It's something I ran. It's just random. Everything we doing right now is just real random. It wasn't nothing planned. Like I said, be on the lookout for the interviews I'll tell you guys about. We'll put up sometime over the weekend, and yeah, I think that's about that. What we got to do. Go ahead and report us something Brother X was saying. Let's see. I just No, I ain't lost nothing in them states. Oh, geez. Well, you know what, guys? Like I said, it's getting late. I'm gonna go lay myself down, and I'll holler at y'all another time.